This is the first time we've incorporated alcohol into the podcast. We'll see how it goes.
Don't discount them just because they're in the Mafia. If anyone saw The Godfather, Al Pacino's character had promise.
But back to throwing up on a dick.
I have thrown up on a dick before.
No!
I don't drink hard alcohol anymore. I learned I go missing.
Is there not so much sexual tension, though, between a blue-haired vegan and a red meat-eating Republican?
Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to another Sunday Scaries podcast with your host, Maddie Rossi. And of course, myself returning. I was on episode...
Back due to popular demand.
Back due to popular demand. I'm Anika Dhar. And we are here today with some of our lovely friends in Chatham, Massachusetts, after a couple beverages of vino.
On Memorial Day weekend.
Woo!
Maybe.
Woo! Today we are unscripted. We are wild.
Unfiltered.
Full
of olive brine.
Unedited by
Perfect.
CBS producers. Cough, cough.
So if you may have realized by this point, we are not in the studio. We have a special episode today where we are live on the scene in Chatham, Massachusetts. And we figured what better way to spend the Sunday than get together, have a few martinis, rosé, and hit record.
Cheers, everyone.
Fabulous.
Cheers.
Cheers!
It's water. I can't.
I
can't jinx us.
No, don't jinx it.
I can't.
What do you mean? It's
Cheers
water?
with water.
Oh. Yeah, don't do that.
It's bad luck.
That's bad.
Wait,
luck.
this is a scandal because at every pregame I have, if sometimes people are designated driving or sometimes they're not drinking, so I hand them a water shot so they can feel included. Am I not supposed to do that?
Tragic.
No.
Why?
Well, just
It's
don't
bad
get in the
luck.
car
You're
with them.
cursing them all.
Oh. Oh.
It's bad luck. Maybe I'm just superstitious and
Yeah, I'm hoping because wow.
Are we all superstitious people?
yes.
I'm wondering if any of those people have
Yes.
recently incurred
Do
like
people
bad luck.
walk under ladders?
Can we introduce yourselves?
Oh, right. Take it away, Matt Rossi.
All right, so I am
owning it
your
too
host,
much.
Matt Rossi. You guys obviously recognize Anika Dhar. She was on episode 4 of the Scaries podcast, and
Yes,
back
I
due
was.
to popular demand. And
Star of CBS's Survivor. Also streaming on Paramount Plus.
and
I
that's,
got you.
And that's
that is Billy. Billy is
Hi, I'm Billy Duke. Thrilled to be here. I'm a big fan of the show and all the content. And I'm here to assist in our Memorial Day episode.
Billy, please tell the group and everyone who's listening, how are you integrated in this group? How do you know everyone?
So I saw him on Fox News and also in West Hollywood.
Yeah. Which those two
I feel like we need to
phrases.
explain the Fox
No,
News.
Fox News and West Hollywood are not often in the same paragraph, but somehow I make it work.
Is bridging gaps.
Yes, so I am involved in a lot of different worlds. I'm an actor. I'm also worked on and off in political campaigns since I was 18. And Matt is talking about infamous 2 times I went on Fox News to say that Kamala Harris was going to win the election, and I was wrong.
And also, since he was 18, yeah, he does not have a time machine. He is 23, although he looks 16.
Thank you.
So just to add a little bit of context.
Thank you so much. You can give me some also.
I got you. I'm making
So
a dirty martini in
tell
the
us why a
meantime.
16-year-old is hanging out with a almost 30-year-old.
Well,
He's not 16. He's 23.
And you're 30,
23.
right, Matt?
Not yet.
However, if there are any casting directors out there, I can certainly play 16. I met Anika almost 4 years ago now. We were on a plane, if you can believe it, and I walk in and I see this girl, and she has a suitcase that's bigger than her. She obviously can't lift it, so I said, "Can I put that in the overhead bin for you?" And she said yes. And you talk to one. We can make friends with a plant. That's one thing about us.
One thing.
So
We can talk.
I
All Billy needed to do was offer me help with my suitcase.
and for the rest of the 5-hour flight, we talked the entire time.
If you hear background noises, let me explain. It's Matt Rossi
shall
attempting
I?
to make a dirty martini.
I thought you meant other people were talking.
Without a shaker.
I thought you meant it was Bo.
Filthy dirty.
filthy, he says.
We
Grimy.
bought olive brine today, which I
was
learned was
good.
a thing.
The olive brine.
Yeah, oh,
when
the brand
when
is
I
filthy.
order a martini, I'm asking for it to be filthy, grimy. And if I say dirty martini, there's not enough. I want olive juice with vodka. They only understand that if you really, really
Which
explain
is
how
the
gross
perfect
you want it to
segue
be.
to. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Oh,
Miss
that's
Blake
yes,
Swanson?
fabulous. The perfect
Leader of
segue.
Swan Squad.
Hey, I'm Blake. I love a podcast. I'm a podcast listener. I've never been a podcast speaker, so this is thrilling
Can't say that
for me.
anymore.
I'm so excited. I'm ready to yap.
We have Blake's number one fan.
I am the number one fan of Blake. Blake and I met through Anika maybe like 3 years ago, and I've told Blake I have officially removed myself from the friend category
No.
and put myself in the fan category. I am a fan through and through. I watch all her content. I do an impression. Get ready with me using food I just ingredient prepped. I don't know. I feel like
I am not in agreement with the fan status. For the record, let that sink
a
in.
fan is a fan, whether or not they consent.
I adore Billy as a best friend. How did we meet?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Okay,
I have the answer.
me and
Them too?
Oh.
me and Anika met through a bunch of mutual friends. We were talking about this earlier.
We kind of got into it on your episode. So remember when we said that me and Anika had a lot of mutual friends? Well, these are the mutual friends. So one of my high school friends is friends with Blake, who's
Kirsty.
who's coming tomorrow. And then
Am I allowed to tell the full lore?
Yeah.
Okay, ready? This is the full lore of how we all became one giant friend group. Blake was seeing a man. A girl,
Very
Kirsty,
very casually.
very casually.
And I got a DM from a girl, and it just popped up, probably higher than like a random DM that said like, because there was a mutual friend, and it was a girl that said, "This is so random. I feel like we'd be really good friends." And the mutual friend was the guy I was seeing, and I was like, "Oh my god, what if this is an ex or something?" And so I asked him before I hung out with her just to make sure I wasn't crossing any weird lines. And
this
it
isn't
turns
me,
out,
by the way. Just I feel like
No one thought it was you, Matt.
No,
Literally no one
like
thought
we're
it was
all
you.
integrated with Matt.
Oh, I
And he
see
was
why
like,
we thought it
"That's
was
my
you.
cousin."
Okay.
So, long story short, we became best friends. They went to high school together.
I went to high school with Kirsten, and Kirsten is in the aforementioned episode that introduced me to Anika when I was having an existential crisis and thinking about moving
I
across
didn't
the
realize it was
country.
Kirsten.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
Kirsten.
Oh, and I met Anika. I met Matt on the
That trip.
same day Anika did. Because
I met Matt for the first time
Yeah.
there.
No,
Also,
yes.
another clarification: Billy's not the twink I made out with in a pool.
okay,
For the
that's crazy. The twunk,
Twunk.
right? Some
No.
might say I'm a twunk.
It all
No.
goes back to Kirsty.
He's working on his way.
Wait, but I think it's so funny because I didn't realize that was Kirsten because that day it was like, oh my gosh, Billy, can you like please come over and like meet this guy? And I was like, oh sure. Hello, how are you?
I was like, I didn't know what Matt Rossi's vibe was.
Yeah, it
That's
was pre
smart.
me putting my entire life on the internet, so it really was just going off a whim. Yeah.
I didn't get a lot of, I didn't get a lot of details. So I was like, Billy, like, just be there. So Billy was there.
She really recruited the big guns.
The big guys.
How long have you had Kirkland?
3 years.
Okay, because I think I might have met you.
So I knew it. So we were living in Boston.
I was walking with Kirsten, and she was like, "My friend Matt lives here, and he just got a puppy." And we just like knocked on your door repeatedly and called you, and we're like, "Let us in, let us meet the puppy." And he was like 3 pounds, and that
Yeah, and
Was
that
that the-
was. I don't think that
I
was
think
the
I met
first
you
time we
once
met. We may
prior.
have met before, but I obviously knew who you were. You were like hanging out with Kirsten. You obviously were a creator at that point in Boston. I wasn't, but like I knew who you were, and like that might have been the first time we spent time with each other. And now Kirkland's 3.
he was so tiny.
That was 3 years ago. And then I'm trying to think. Oh, also a fun fact. So the building that me and Anika lived in, Blake also lived in.
Anika and I met through another mutual friend, and Anika just showed up at my door one day.
Oh.
And my apartment was a mess, and I am someone who feels very anxious if people show up in my apartment and it's a mess. And I was like, "I'm so sorry. Can you wait outside for 30 seconds?" And I tidied up, and I was like, "Hello." And we have been inseparable since.
I have no memory of this.
You don't remember that?
All I remember is that we met at Brittany's apartment.
Okay, I was thinking, okay, I got it mixed up. You brought Caroline over, and she was the one that was standing outside. I was thinking she brought you over. You don't remember that? You brought her over. Okay, now I'm clearing up. You brought her over and you knocked on my door and you were like, hi, I want you to meet this girl that I work with. She lives right next door. I'm moving soon. You don't remember this?
I don't remember it. I wasn't there.
You brought her over to my apartment because you lived in the same floor.
This sounds something like I would do. The fact that I don't remember this, we haven't talked about this, and I talk to Blake all the time.
Speaking of neighbors, we also have another one of your neighbors.
Yes.
Stephanie.
Yes, my name is Steph Simon. This is my first podcast ever, so I don't know how this is gonna go, but here we are. But yeah, do you want to tell?
I'm also a fan of Steph Simon.
Wait,
I met her today, and she said, I was like, hi, what's your name? And she said Steph, and I said Simon, and she said yes. I said, oh, I know you. I'm a fan.
That was so funny.
After Steph said, I'm looking at my following right now, and he has been following me for a while.
A minute.
I know, I was like going through my following, I was like, shit, I think he's followed me for a while. But
yeah.
Oh, God.
It's been for a second.
oh my
And
God.
cheers to that. New beginning.
All right.
To that.
So with that intro, we've all introduced ourselves. I've not only had time to make a martini, but drink half of it. We're
Perfect.
here to listen to more of your stories. Today's a little unconventional. Usually I pull these ahead of time, but today what we're going to do is I have our mystery box in front of me, which has all of your confessions in them, and we're just going to kind of raw dog the episode. We're just going to pull, react, and see where it takes us.
Can I ask, how do you get these physical scaries?
Great question. So the physical scaries I have is we go to events throughout the city. And
Boston?
In Boston. And this is a wedding invite, or a wedding card, gift receiver.
Oh, interesting.
So
A box with a hole in it.
it's a box with a hole in it, not like a glory hole, just to clarify.
You know, it feels very official.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
very
think
official.
about it. I thought you
It's
were
like a
about to-
polling box.
I'm not gonna lie when I thought you were
Yeah.
about to pull them out of the solo cup.
Yeah, this is
I thought they were gonna be little notes, and then I don't know how I missed the box.
This was
it
actually
feels very official to me.
the exact election box that won Joe Biden the election.
Oh,
Yeah.
And we just
Wow.
decided to not use it this time around, I guess. Wow. Nuts.
But exactly.
Nuts.
So we go around the events. We ask people to anonymously submit their confessions, and they do it because I give them a drink ticket in exchange for it. So they tell me their deepest, darkest secrets.
I
just
have a
for free
question.
drink. Yeah.
As you're reading these scaries each week, is there a part of you that's like, oh, some of these are really scandalous?
Yeah.
do you cut any out?
No.
Oh,
Wow.
love
Wow.
that.
He just goes-
I don't. Well, I mean, I've never done it like this, to be honest. I usually read through them and select them. This is. I have no idea.
Fully,
what we're
you have
reading
no
here. So
idea.
this is the most uncaged episode
With the
that
most
we've ever
people.
had. With
Yeah.
the most people.
You're really throwing the three of us into the deep
It's
end.
like
Yeah,
a
you
live
really
studio
are.
audience.
Yeah, we have a live studio
This
audience.
was meant for us.
Yeah, it really was. Okay, so
I'm nervous.
with that, okay, wait, before we go into it, there are 3 sets of rules that I have to say. So the first is that all submissions are anonymous and stay anonymous. The second is that it's an inclusive space. We listen and we don't judge. And the third is that none of us are licensed therapists, that the podcast is just for entertainment purposes only and should not be used in lieu of any actual medical advice.
I think you're qualified to give medical advice. Then.
I don't.
We'll see. Well, your dad's a doctor, so
You might be.
So both of ours. So
Both of
both of our dads are doctors. That equals one doctor.
I mean, you just get sued if that happens. But anyways.
I would trust you, for the record.
I would too.
Wait, Anika just looked at me like I was delusional.
My doctor goes on WebMD every time I describe symptoms, and it's
You
just
might,
like,
you might need to switch.
yeah, well, I'm like, I think I have this, and she types in the symptoms.
I'm concerned for
And then-
everyone's health here.
All right, well, let's get into the first one.
He's trustworthy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is a very Italian coded. So it says, "My ex hookup was in the Mafia." This is a very Boston submission.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's
My question is, did you find out post hookup? Did you know?
Yeah, how'd you
Was it
find
the
out?
reason you wanted to hook up? I'm curious.
Okay, so this hits home because a dear friend of mine and very active New York City gay who's nicest person you'll ever meet.
Sweetest man.
Sweetest. You meet him, you see his apartment, it's very modest. He's just wearing t-shirts, it's cool. And you can attest to this. You pull up to his house, it is a castle.
Not modest in the slightest.
No, it's
grand.
like, you know those grand palaces they have in Europe? It's bigger. It's ginormous.
It's all stone in the front. There's like a little fountain.
Yeah, yeah. It's like every stone was plucked from.
It's an event space.
Absolutely.
It's massive.
It looks like you could have multiple weddings there at once.
You keep on finding rooms after rooms after rooms.
Exactly. It's beautiful.
You know those houses that have like a shoe room where every inch of the wall is just a shoe?
Yeah.
But it's not a closet. It's a full room.
It's a full, yeah.
That's this house.
It's very large. And so, dumbass me, he was telling me his whole life that his dad is like a real estate agent. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, interesting. I come to find out in time, his family is mafia connection after mafia connection after mafia connection. But your ex-hookup was a mafia. You meet this kid, he is
set
so
for life.
nice. No. You're set for life. He's also nice.
Okay, can we talk about how your friend's brother's now wife, set for life?
Yeah, because she married into the mafia. But I will say, point is, I shouldn't be saying, oh my God, watch us have.
Will something happen to you?
I don't know. But no, it's fine. We'll take the
I have
risk.
mafia connections.
We'll
too,
take
so
the risk.
Girl, we know.
You're Italian.
He's Italian. But I think to this scary person, my advice would be, don't discount them just because they're in the mafia. If anyone saw The Godfather, Al Pacino's character had promise. There was a moment where he could have been clean. If you get him before he's too far in, you can save him, ladies.
That's good advice.
I love it, Billy.
I'm just pro Italian ex relationships, so
I'm pro get your bag.
not all.
Am I supposed to say something I'm pro?
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't know about that. I would be terrified.
I would be scared.
I would be literally terrified. Be like, they're gonna come for me.
Blake in the mafia, in a mafia
Like
situation.
in the mafia.
yeah.
I'd be like, teach me everything you know.
Oh my God.
I'll get just as dirty as you.
Anika would give him the Uno reverse card.
You say you're mafia? Watch what I can do.
All right, does anyone else want to pick? I don't have to pick the
Yeah,
mafia.
Billy.
Wait, I actually have another story about the mafia. So I told you
You
all.
might be in deep water after.
I know, from multiple fronts. Okay. Oh, this actually might be worse, but just for a personal safety standpoint. So you all know I'm a big fan of Blake. Ultimate fan.
We know.
No, so I was just in London as part of my graduation trip, and my family is going to be staying here in Cape Cod later this week, and I thought, let me come in early and get to spend some time with Blake. But while I was in London,
And everyone else that's here.
yeah, absolutely. But while I was in London, I got invited to this very exclusive after party, and I was all excited. I was ready to speak properly and not act like an American. And I'm talking to everyone, being nice. I like to mingle. And I was talking to the coat check lady, and she said in her British accent, "You seem really nice, but I think you need to get out of here." I was like, "Oh, why is that?" And she's like, "These people are dangerous. They are dangerous." And I was like, "Oh, this girl had a few too many." And she was like, "No, they're criminals. Get out. You should get out. And you can't look at any of them in the eye." And I was like, oh my God, this is so interesting. And I totally would have left, but I was getting with
I feel
that
like
chef.
you're doing a script read right now for the casting directors that might be watching.
Doesn't look like that. We're on the casting couch.
I never know with him.
God. Good God. Good fucking
I would say the
God.
name, actually. I feel like if there are any gay listeners out there, they might know the name of this actor.
Is there gay casting couch porn?
Gay casting couch porn?
There's straight casting couch. porn?
Gay?
Okay, well, next topic.
I think that's a whole
Pull
category,
it out,
girl.
pull it out, pull it
Pull
out.
a card,
pull it
someone
out, pull it
else.
out.
Billy,
Pull
why
it
don't
out.
you pull after that one?
Do I have the honor?
Yes, of course.
Okay, ready? This handwriting isn't great. Dating scary. I told a guy I wanted to be casual, and he asked if he could take me out to dinner to talk about what casual meant. So I guess I would ask the group, what does casual mean to you?
Took you to an Olive Garden, a fast casual.
Yeah.
An Applebee's, got you a classic combo. Is there a backside?
I am curious about this one because I'm not scared about this. I told a guy I wanted to. Be
I'm too
casual,
wide-drunk
and
to
he
process.
asked if he could take me out
I
to
told a
dinner
guy
and
when-
talk about what casual meant.
Okay, usually
took-
it's the guy that's like wants to keep
He
it
took
casual.
her out to. Yeah.
Oh, that's
That means you
probably it.
belong to the streets, respectfully.
It seems like he's not listening to your boundary.
No, this isn't a boundary.
Wait,
this
can I
is,
read it again?
I want to be casual. Can I take?
This is.
No,
Do you
so
think
he
she
asked
likes
her
her-
out.
Do you think he's trying to convince her to be more by wanting
Yes.
to go out to dinner?
Yeah,
Yes.
but
Because
also
by casual, does she mean dinner date?
No,
Girly,
she
girly
means-
pop, I'm sure you know in the back of your head that this guy wants more. And that is what prompted you in the first place to say to him that you only wanted to be casual. So my advice to you is to not break this man's heart and be honest with what your intentions are. If you have to repeat it again, go for it.
Yeah, I think
So level-headed.
if who's the guy that's texting you that you don't want to be casual with, because that's the real situation that's going down. Like this guy's bringing you out to dinner, but there's one guy who's leaving you on red for 2 weeks that you can't stop thinking about.
True.
So
Facts.
like, is this guy just being nice and attentive and everything that the other guy isn't? And is that why you just want to be casual, because you want to keep yourself available to the person that's keeping you casual?
Or she's just not interested. She's just not into you. And she's just not into him.
Yeah.
Time to move on, sis. Find the one you want. Okay, moving on.
All right. I think Blake, you should pick.
Okay.
In her soothing voice, read us this scary.
Give us an ASMR tap.
When your best friend fantasizes about hooking up with your situationship.
Ooh.
Oh, she ain't your best friend if she's
It's a
telling
little-
you that.
It's a little messy.
The
Maybe,
fact
you
that
know-
it's also a situationship.
Yeah, it's not even
Ooh.
a real. Also, why are you talking about that?
And you have great handwriting. It's really nice. My handwriting looks like actual chicken scratch, so this is lovely.
Oh,
It is nice. She stayed
Okay.
on the lines too.
Fantasizing, if it was like one dream, but fantasizing, that's like an ongoing thing. Why is she telling you about it? And also, if it's a situationship, she's stealing your man.
Yeah, that's weird.
This reminds me of how I recently told you I had a sex dream about my ex. And
What was it? Describe it.
in intense detail. No, but what the crazy part was is that the moment I had a sex dream about my ex, 24 hours later, this has nothing to do with scary, I'm so sorry. 24 hours later,
This is scary.
I get a text from my phone on my phone, him saying, "Hey."
Is he going to listen to this?
No, absolutely not.
I think
I hope not.
I think we
He
all.
would get great pleasure about
Hey.
If he's one of my male listeners, then you have a lot more to learn about it.
I'll reshare specifically this clip just so he knows. Okay, back to the scary. Sorry, that was such a tangent.
You
I'm
like a
5
dirty
glasses of Glen's.
martini, don't you?
I like it filthy.
Yes. Okay. Well, he says
It's the
with,
only way.
with the eye contact.
Steph, want to pick one?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm not the host. I'm just
Wait, we
deciding.
completely didn't address that scary at all.
All right.
Her handwriting. I've spoken to my martini like it was a microphone. Her handwriting was too nice. Her best friend fantasized. Like, why are you talking about this?
She's not your best friend.
She's not your
No,
best
she's
friend,
not
and
your
that's
best
not your
friend.
boyfriend.
Well, maybe she has some redeeming qualities.
That's not your husband. Or your
I'm
wife.
here to provide a different voice.
It's not your person. And that is not your friend. They might get married.
All right. This one says threw up on a dick.
No!
Billy?
No, I would have to go into hiding.
Billy, you take this
I
one.
would kill myself. After
Billy,
that.
take this one.
Wait,
I have a story if you don't. Okay, I have a really
You have a
really good
story?
I have a really good story with multiple layers.
Okay.
That starts
Matt,
with that.
have you thrown up on a dick before?
No, but I have gotten bled on, and not in the way you think. It was a nosebleed, and it was with a girl, and it was Halloween in San Diego.
I feel bad for her.
Yeah, but you want to know something crazy?
Yes.
The night before, I was on the apps for the boys, and I had matched with someone who was like wearing like poison ivy, like they were like poison ivy themed, right? And this girl, fast forward to night, was wearing Poison Ivy themed. And at one point we were talking, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go." And she's like, or I like was going to clean up the blood, and I went, and I was like, "Why is there guys' clothes everywhere?" And she goes, "Oh, it's just my roommates. Don't worry, he's gay." And in that moment, I had put two and two things together that
The
I
one you were
had
talking to.
matched with the roommate the night before,
Whoa.
who
What
had tried to get me
are
over.
the chances?
That's
And
crazy.
then the next day, while out, met her,
Oh.
hooked up with her. She bled on me,
Oh.
and I was like, I gotta go.
I gotta go.
Before that, he came home.
What are the
Is
chances?
that crazy?
That is crazy.
That's insane.
But back to throwing up on a dick.
Genuinely,
love that story, Matt.
genuinely,
But how do you
what
do
would
that?
you do?
Okay, so I can answer
Maybe
this
a
because
gag reflex.
Maybe.
Because you have a dick.
I have thrown up on a dick before.
No. Wait, like little like
We have gags
like
throughout the
little,
audience.
but, like little like baby barf or like literally like projectile like, your whole
full-blown
meal.
throw up.
Because I don't know why I'm needing this much context, but I actually need to know.
Okay, so I was with my ex. We had a very fun night, and we had decided that we would get in the shower together. We were in the shower. We were getting hot and heavy, and I went down on him, and one thing led to another. This is how drunk I was. Both of us were so out of it. I am going at it, and I didn't even realize that one of my gags led to throw up until I looked
Just
down.
pull the microphone a little bit further from your mouth, just in case. I'm kidding.
No, literally. And let me take another drink. No.
You had you didn't know?
No, I'm going. Neither of us. No, neither of us knew. Nobody made a thing until I looked down and I went.
Oh my god, you should have never.
I shouldn't have even. I should have.
pretended.
And there was shower water, so I could have just
yeah.
pushed it away. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I literally got out of the shower. I've never been so mortified.
That could
in
be
my
so
life.
much worse though. What if you weren't in a shower?
Yeah, at least you have the water.
And what
How,
if it was
how
extremely
convenient was it?
noticeable?
And listen, if anyone here doubts that Jesus Christ is real, the fact that when that happened to me, I was in a shower, my
No.
man was looking out for me.
That's valid.
And he loves the gays.
Yeah, from time to time.
Okay,
For those who are not in a shower,
what do you
What do you do?
genuinely you'd love to say? You know, it was a bodily experience. You would love to be like, we can get over it. It was an accident. No, because no one is that easygoing. What do you actually do? Because I think you would have to say nothing. Get
I
up,
think-
leave, delete the number, block the number, go out of the country.
I can say if that you would be the best one to answer this, but I would say if that happened to me, I would not be as repulsed as you would think.
No, I would say A for effort.
No,
True.
I think it's worse if you.
But know your
It's
limits.
worse for you if you've done it because
Sure.
it's the embarrassment.
No, I'd rather be embarrassed than
I can't
have
even-
someone be embarrassed like right in front of me because I feel like I can let it go.
Yeah.
Whereas like when
Really?
someone else is so embarrassed and you're like, yeah, this is objectively really embarrassing. I'm like, I think I can handle embarrassment
like
better.
you can laugh at yourself,
Yeah.
but the awkwardness of trying to make sure someone feels better about their mistake,
It's worse.
That's valid.
so much.
I'd
No, I
rather
would
do
have
that.
to flee the country.
No, I truly would have to go
Me too.
dark on everything for weeks and
Yeah.
hope that no one notices
Maybe
that
just exit.
Yeah, just exit.
Just yeah.
Disappear.
Well,
That was an intense.
that was a good one.
Oh wait, I also were you drunk? Were you like did you have the flu?
I think she was just ambitious.
True, context matters.
Was it the first time?
I love how this girl
Wait.
submitted a scary, and we're like, "That's awful." I'd be so fucking embarrassed.
I'm so sorry.
Poor girl. Who like you'll be.
I'm so sorry. Embarrassing things like that
that
really
This
are the
one-
worst.
So I just pulled another one really quick and it just says he threw up on my shoes, which
I would just be pissed, but
you know, we're on the vomit train.
You know, if I can't wash them, buy me new shoes.
yeah, that one's easy.
it could be worse.
It could,
It
only
could be way
worse.
worse.
Your dick.
I was actually in a short film. It's called Mad Sad Grad. You can find it on Vimeo. And in it, I throw up on someone's shoes. But you can't see it. It was behind like a desk, but I'm like, and it's on their
Perfect.
shoes. And the girl goes, So
Yeah, his first story was also a short film that you can find on onlyfans.com.
yeah, you probably can, honestly.
I want to know what led to him throwing up on the shoes.
My
I'm
character.
sure
No.
so much drinking
So much drinking.
that he's hiding his
That's how we
sexuality.
see it,
At the
I
bar,
Okay.
were you kissing and he had to back
You
away?
haven't done
and
one
then
yet.
throw up?
I haven't
I
done
would love
one
more
yet.
context. I feel like I need paragraphs
Okay.
sometimes.
Yeah. Some people do write paragraphs. All right, Annika's first pick.
Buying a round of green tea shots for 8 people. Okay, I will say,
I love green tea.
been
shots.
there, done that, great time. I honestly hope you made new friends. Okay, next one.
Wait, I'm curious.
You're just
for
cool.
Matt.
That was just cool. That's just
No,
like
that
I
was-
do that all the time.
That was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
nice of you.
That's not as scary.
And I'm
but-
sure
No, that's
everyone,
not as scary.
everyone
Yeah,
had
do
a great
another one.
I'm
time.
gonna
because
do
of you.
another one.
It's a scary if you open up your Chase account the next morning. It's like, oh crap, I shouldn't have done
Okay.
that. We've all been there.
Billy, this one says, leaving my ID at my ex-situation's house and going to get it the next morning, and his girlfriend, who he told me he broke up with, was there.
Oh no.
Oh, that's bad.
That's really bad. I have left many item of clothing, ID, wallet.
I've left rings before.
Yeah.
Not purposely, but
absolutely.
yeah.
No, and I've
What kind of rings?
Just jewelry.
Okay. Not a Nuva ring, right?
Yeah, no.
showing up to the ex. That's
No,
like that episode
okay,
from Friends.
I'm glad you did because.
Well, no, because it's clearly not an ex.
but
It's
now,
a current.
Or-
you saved her. Now she knows and she's out and he's
True.
alone. Hopefully.
That's
Whoa. Or he's just getting back with his ex too. Or they could be still together. That's
Or they
what
were
I-
on a break, maybe.
Yeah, it's ambiguous.
Oh, that's such a tough one.
But
I
it's
hope
not
he
that
lost both of you.
ambiguous. It's not that ambiguous.
Either way, I hope you ended it because you're a powerful person.
I just like know this happened in Southie too. Like I see it in my
Yeah,
I totally
100%.
see it in Southie. I hope
It's
you
giving
got.
Southie vibes.
I hope you got your. What are you looking for? Oh, your ID. I hope you got your ID back, and I hope you broke up with him.
I have a question. Did you mean to leave the ID? Because that's a veteran move. Because I see Billy over here who's saying like, I've left this, that. But Billy, I feel like you're a mastermind a bit.
Yeah, I feel like that was intentional.
Did
no,
you leave those to go
occasionally I have absolutely done that intentionally. Oftentimes, though, I'm just very clumsy and I just leave things everywhere. I almost left my phone in a shopping cart today. Matt didn't.
Yeah, I grabbed it twice. He left it actually twice. Once on the counter, once in the cart.
Wait, I also have a question. Would you show up to a situationship's house without letting them know?
No, I
Because
text them.
I wouldn't.
Never.
Be-
No.
That's like a.
Yeah, why not let them
That's
know?
the question. He obviously didn't know you were. I'm glad you went because now you and that girl both know, and he's.
I
he's
like
not
that
it.
she mentioned
But-
ex-situationship though. I
But
feel
did you
like
just show up and knock? And did the girlfriend answer?
Yeah,
Well, it
that's-
couldn't have been
that's-
X at the time because it's
They
probably
went
like in
together.
retrospect
Yeah,
my
in
ex
retrospect, it's
situation,
X.
but
Which-
not at the time.
I'm proud of you. This was a good transition into your clumsiness, but
Yes. I struggle from
We
chronic
have a paragraph.
clumsiness.
there's many stories we could tell about Billy's clumsiness.
All right, we have a new one. Can you hold my martini?
Yes. Can I drink it?
Yeah, of course. All right, it says, I went on a date with this vegan girl. I knew she was vegan.
Is this about me?
Yeah, I was like, this is screaming
Not
Blake
vegan anymore.
Swanson.
Literally, if someone was holding this hostage for 3 years.
Do you still
perhaps-
identify as vegan?
No, it's been years.
Are you vegetarian?
Pescatarian.
Okay.
Matt told me earlier he would not be able to go out to dinner with pescatarians.
And share a meal.
Okay, Matt.
It was different. We couldn't split a meal. I was like, you know what? Actually, I would love it if we went out to dinner because I get my own meal and you could get your own meal.
Okay, perfect.
Did you like how I knew I answered that with you?
Yeah.
Pescatarian. I know you're everything.
Billy knows everything about you.
I can't believe Blake just came out as no longer vegan.
I know.
They're gonna come for me. The vegans are gonna come for me.
All right, so went on a date with this vegan girl. I knew she was vegan. I chose a vegan-friendly restaurant that also had some other meat options. We should go there sometime. We ordered our meals, and I chose
Not
chicken.
Ethiopian though, because apparently Matt
No, no
hated
Ethiopian. No Ethiopian food. I also thought about the Ethiopian.
No, we both hate it.
No, I
Actually, we told a story about how Matt couldn't handle Ethiopian. I've also dragged Billy and Blake to Ethiopian. Steph, you're next. And Billy, we're going to input a picture into this edit right now. Billy is sweating. His face is red. There are physical drops down his face into the food at Ethiopia.
It was
That would happen to
Ethiopian
me.
food. Ethiopian food for me. It's a combination of the
spice.
spice
Yeah.
with the stress of everyone's touching this with their hands. I can't.
That's what I said. And also, like, if you gotta do anything later, you don't want to have Ethiopian food before.
The hate is on Ethiopian is unreal. If anyone
No,
wants to go
it's-
eat Ethiopian with me, please
Wait.
let me know.
We went to the Boston place. Did I go to somewhere in LA with
Yes,
you first?
Blake has been with me
And I
eating
liked it.
Ethiopian in Boston and LA.
I liked the LA place more, and I know you'll disagree with that because you love the place in Boston.
Boston, Asmara. I'll shout you out in episode whatever this number is.
No more free publicity for Asmara. We went on a date with this vegan girl. I knew she was
We
vegan.
went on a date with
I
collectively all of
went
us.
on a date with this vegan girl. I knew she was vegan. I chose a vegan restaurant that also had some other options. We ordered other meals, and I chose chicken. She freaked out at me and said, "How could you do this to me?" Side 2. I was flabbergasted. That was impressive. I was flabbergasted, to say the least. I got up and said, "Enjoy your meal," dropped $50 on the table, and walked out. Oof.
Oh.
Blake, this one's for you.
I don't know how I feel about
You
this
know
one.
I don't like any of this.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
You know, I hate to say it. I was vegan for 10 years. You know, I get it. I empathize. This is why vegans get it bad.
May I ask,
Because
why were you vegan?
I don't really. I just like. I never really liked meat. I just like tried it, and then I think it was like the challenge of sticking with something, and then somehow it was 10 years later. I have no idea.
Wow, that's
But that's why vegans get a bad rep because
It's like being
what was
gluten-free.
that?
It's kind of
That's
trendy.
the weirdest reaction. But also, he seemed a little heightened as well. You're not meant for each other.
Yeah, this is
That's
crazy.
fine. But
This
maybe
is like,
both of you just like need to chill out.
okay, I want to unpack it a little bit. So it was a thoughtful thing that you did by going to a vegan restaurant, but you
Mm-hmm.
also wanted to not go hungry. So you got something that had other options.
Valid.
What you overlooked was why she was vegan, which was
Yeah.
probably something to do with like animals or whatever. It wasn't just like a health reason vegan.
Yeah.
So now what she's projecting onto you is, oh, like we're going on a date. You know that this is something important to me, and you just ordered an animal in front of me. What you're now projecting onto her is, well, no, I brought you here because this is something that you said you care about, but like I still have to eat at the end of the day. And then you both clashed, got mad, you paid the bill, and stormed out. So I'd say like that, like no one, there's no, you guys are both immature and unempathetic or empathetic in the wrong ways.
Matt and I also talked for a while today about the political landscape of our country right now. One of the reasons I feel so many men in this past election voted for Trump, young men, was because they felt preached to. They felt like there were a bunch of people on our side, the liberal side, who were basically telling them what they should do, what they should think, all these things. And I think that that is something that very much drove people away from the Democratic Party. So it's people like that on our side that are causing scandals for me. But enough about politics. Let's discuss more Scaries.
No,
And this is why he was on Fox News, ladies and
did
gentlemen.
he tell you he would also eat vegan? Because that's the only way for your reaction to not be a little over the top. You can feel however you feel. Feel however you
This
feel.
just
queen.
screams
But
incompatibility.
the reaction is just a little much, and his was a little much too. You guys just aren't. He's not your person.
Yeah,
I
like
think
Just
there's a
not meant
vegan
to be.
dating app.
you know what? Go for coffee next time. Like just
Is there not so much sexual tension, though, between a blue-haired vegan and a red meat-eating Republican? Like, let's be honest.
Please, it's the challenge
It's
for
the
both
cha-
of them.
they did say
Exactly.
they didn't fuck.
I'll change them. Okay.
No, I literally think there's a vegan dating app. So I think my friend told me
Honestly,
that years
yeah.
ago.
Farmers only.
Yeah.
Okay, Steph, it's your turn.
All right.
Get in there.
Made out with a 23-year-old. Thought he was at least 30.
I
My
love this
son
one.
is 20.
I knew
Dying.
this. I love this one. I have seen this one
It was a
before.
fun
Sorry.
story.
I think this
mean-
is so fun.
It was a fun vibe. You don't.
Everyone deserves a May
You don't have to
December
make
moment.
him.
Age is just a
20
So,
number.
Billy, how old are you?
I'm 23. And
Do you know?
oh, what?
No, you just say how. Sorry. How old are you?
I'm 23.
Made out with the no, stop. That's not where this is going. Made out with a 23-year-old. Thought he was at least 30. My son is 20. Dying.
Okay, so for her son to be 20, or it doesn't say.
Yeah, you're a
son,
MILF.
His, hers, who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
Like, how old? Minimum 35.
Minimum. Oh, minimum.
But
No, you'd have been
maybe
15 when you
4.
had the kid.
But-
At least 42.
40.
That.
yeah.
No, she was.
42 or
That's why I'm
45.
saying minimum, because that could have happened.
Yeah.
She's in her 60s.
But-
Yeah.
She's in her 60s.
Yeah,
50s.
it's Parents'
She had a kid
Weekend.
At 45.
You think that's where? Okay, I have a question.
You think she's 65 with a?
Okay, not 65. In her 60s,
In her,
like
maybe
61.
yeah, 61, 62.
Okay,
She
but
thought he was at
imagine being
least
her
30.
son.
But she thought he was at
But
least
honestly,
30.
she
So I
was
feel like she
living.
can't be. Maybe she's 40.
Before I make a judgment call, I need to know how old you are. I do think about being in the son's point of view as a 20-year-old, knowing that your mom just made out with someone who is 3 years older than you. And that is a hard thing to take.
Don't tell him.
Also, it's funny that you're like, I thought he was at
He
least
doesn't need to
30.
know.
yeah,
I know.
True. Like
Wait,
that makes a difference.
That's what
like,
leads me to believe she's not that much older, because 23 and 30
I think she's
are
hot.
not
Okay,
a
what
big
about she
difference
could
when
be
you're
50?
60.
She could be 50. She could be 50.
Those are the same age.
Okay, but Billy, do you remember what story this reminds me of? Or do
She's
you want to
hot.
know what
I'm
story
trying to
this
think.
She's
Can you
hot.
give me a
That's
hint?
the moral of the story.
Okay, remember that when we were talking about it earlier today,
What?
when you made out with someone, we were on a birthday trip. It was Anika's birthday trip. Who did you make out with?
On Anika's birthday trip.
Yeah.
Wait, are you gonna say what I think you're gonna say?
Billy has made out with multiple people on multiple of my birthday trips.
No, I'm talking about the one we were talking about earlier.
Which one?
No, I'm talking about the woman. The woman.
Oh!
We're talking about. I
Guys.
didn't know if that's where that was going. Because how is that story?
Girl, you should have just said it. I'm sitting here like,
The woman, the girl that you made out with.
sorry, I need a minute. That's crazy. The woman.
oh,
Yes, I made out with a woman.
Tell him why. We'll tell him why. On one of my birthday trips, it was Matt Rossi's idea for everyone to get a dare to complete by the end of the night. All of my friends on the trip took this very seriously, and everyone committed to the bit. Billy's task of the night was to make out with a woman.
But
and
not just make out, convince her I was straight to the point of making out. And the wordage on this dare was changed like 6 times because people wanted to make sure I'd really go for it.
And this was pre him being on Fox News.
Yes.
So
But knee deep in me having a relationship. And this caused problems because we
I
went
forgot
out.
about this detail.
Yes. And okay. So we're out here. We're in Costa Rica. I found a local Costa Rican girl. I put on my best, like straight California voice. I was like, okay, like, what am I gonna do?
she didn't speak English, so he got
Oh, so I convinced her. And I'm like, what do straight guys do? They buy women drinks. I'm like, hey, can I buy a drink? Like, I'm slurring my words. I'm like, straight guys like don't know the meaning of a consonant. So I'm like, oh, buy a drink. So I bought her a drink. I am dancing with her. I'm like, you're the most beautiful girl in the world.
She liked you.
Oh, she liked it.
She really liked you.
Oh, she liked
They
me.
don't have twinks in Costa Rica.
No, they clearly. I landed and they're like, what do we do with you? And I'm like, here's how we do it. Anyway, long story short, we end up making out. It's on video. We're going at it for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. Like it was a while. And then I was like,
talk about the hand positions.
the hand position. So I'm like, ooh, let me act really straight. I'll like
Grab her
place
cheeks.
my no.
Yeah, not her butt cheeks, her face cheeks.
No, but so at first though, I'm grabbing her cheeks. I'm like, what do straight guys like? But I'll put my hand there, and I'm like, I'm loving this. And then I, as a gay person, when I go to kiss people, I'm a sort of like a short king, as the phrase is known. And so oftentimes I'll like place my hand on somebody's like cheek. So naturally my like hands went to her cheek. And then I'm like, but I'm feeling really good about my performance. I'm like, I convinced her, I kissed her. And then this one comes up to me afterwards and is like, just so you know, straight guys don't usually put their hands on women's cheeks. And I'm like, oh, dang.
It's like, if you're going to pretend to be straight, at least do it well. You can learn a
messed
thing
this
or
one
two.
up. And then later we find out that this lovely gentleman is a bi king. And I took that to mean, oh, and you're scolding me. Okay. But then I had another thought about it. And I was like, oh, maybe he should be scolding me. He probably knows more about kissing men and women than any of us in this room. And that's my evolution on that. But it was quite something. And then I got back to California and I told my ex about this story. Blake asked if she could talk about it on her YouTube channel. And I was
No,
like,
I did not.
no, you did. You ran it by me, and you talked about it on your vlog. This is my highlight vlog, which is available on my YouTube channel.
I was not like, I wasn't throwing tea around you.
No.
I was respectfully talking
Blake
about it.
was very respectful, but she asked me, she was like, can I talk about this? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like, it's funny. Then I went back to LA and I
think I said to you, like, this will go to our grave. And you were like, no, I have to tell him.
No,
You decided you're gonna tell him.
exactly. But I was like,
That's the
it's
only
You
reason.
didn't have to tell him.
There's not a bone in my body that's attracted to women. So I was like, no one will care. I may as well kiss a plant. So I'm like, it's fine. So then I go home. It's our 6-month anniversary dinner. And he was like, how was Mexico? Costa Rica. I was like,
Different story.
yeah.
We all know the Mexico
Every
story.
time there's a trip.
I was like,
Wait, every time there's a trip, Billy says in the group chat at least once,
I-
when are we leaving for Mexico? And it's never Mexico.
I just think every country outside of America is Mexico.
No, you don't.
Again, Fox News.
Literally, this is the Fox News pundit. So I'm like, he was like, how was Costa Rica? And I'm like, it was great. It was so fun. Oh, by the way, let me tell you this funny story. Ha ha ha. What the comedian I am, I convinced this girl I'm straight and I was making out with her. And I'm cutting my chicken and he's silent. And I'm like, is everything okay? And he's like, I mean, that just kind of like violates my boundaries. I'm like, oh, girl, come on. Because you know when you know when you are with someone for a while, you know sometimes there's a fight that's about to happen that you've had a million times. And it's like, I just know we're going to have this fight. So I, before anything else went down, I was like, well, I'm sorry if I violated your boundaries. I didn't think anything about that. Actually, that was really not well thought out of me. I'm so sorry. He storms off, and we didn't speak until the morning, but it was worth it because we have that video. And now, anytime a casting director says you can't play straight, I will show them the Costa Rican makeout
I will
video.
show them that I grabbed a girl's cheeks.
That was beautiful.
Can we quickly share our other dares that happened?
Mine was not as good.
No, I think I love Matt Rossi's. He had to go up to a girl and say, "Hey, can I dance with you?" And he did really well, and the girl was super down. And then he had to back up and do the worm on the dance floor.
Immediately.
It's how I learned
That's
that
a
I can
good
do the
one.
worm.
It's really good.
But it was, do you know how much space that takes up?
Do you know how
he had
dirty
to
a Costa
clear
Rican
the
bar
dance
floor is? In a white shirt from Zara? I had to throw it out.
So good. It was so good. It was so good. We'll insert a video. Blake?
I had to dance on the bar, but the thing is that I'm afraid of breaking rules.
That was like
She has
probably
a
the
remission.
hardest one.
I like whispered. I was like, "Excuse me." It's like I don't want the punishment for not doing my dare. Could I dance on the bar?
But it's
And he
like-
was like, "Yeah, you and your friends could take." I don't know why I'm giving him like a bro.
He did not
Literally
speak
in
English.
Costa Rica. But he did speak English, and he said he was like, "Yeah, if you and your friends take these shots," and he gave us. I don't know why I didn't realize how problematic that was until right now. They were fine though. The shots were fine. It worked out fine. But he gave us 6 shots. He gave us shots and he let me dance on the bar.
Sometimes
It
I would
works
kill.
out.
Sometimes I would kill to be a straight woman. To ask to do something so crazy in a bar, and they give you shots to do something.
I still don't understand why.
Wow.
Billy, they do that in gay bars too.
Well, I mean, yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah,
he
you're right.
He also seemed annoyed with me. It was very confusing.
No, I think he was.
This is
I
odd.
think he had the night of his life.
I joined in on Blake's. I quite enjoyed Blake's. Mine we'll never speak about again.
What was yours?
I can't remember yours.
Yeah, what was
now you
yours?
have to. We can cut it out if you.
Matt remembers. I had to get someone to kiss my ass. But there was a language barrier.
Okay.
And she did kiss that ass, and she did a lot more.
Okay. No one else here. No one else here knew Steph at the time, so Steph was not on the trip.
Steph was not on the trip.
If Steph was on the trip, what would hers be?
Because we couldn't pick our own dares, so this is like,
Yeah.
what
Did
would
you
we
guys
have picked
give
for
each
her?
other
Yeah.
dares?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We would
We have to
Oh.
include Steph in this.
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, what would be my dare?
Oh, this is a good question.
You're so sweet and polite.
It would
that
have to be something a
like
little
so
bit
on the
jarring.
beats of that.
Yeah.
Something that's so against.
I like the Lexa one.
Ooh, no, that one's bad.
What's that?
Yeah.
Like this one?
No, that's Matthews.
What was Matthews?
The butterfly kiss a stranger, which is a great way to get conjunctivitis.
no, like which is a great way to get conjunctivitis.
Oh, yes.
Lexa's was the price. Pretend to be a prostitute until a price negotiation begins.
Let's
Oh
give
my
her
gosh.
that dare. Let's give
Do you
her
know
No,
that.
what
she
did
needs
that?
a unique
What
one.
was it?
She
She had
needs a
to
unique one. That was someone else's.
Yeah, no, you need your own. But hers was to convince someone that she was a prostitute to the
Until
point
there was
of
a price
negotiation.
negotiation.
Did she do it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Everyone
They
did
were
it.
like
Everyone
free.
did it?
Everyone committed to the bit.
Oh my god, I'm impressed.
Another one was to make sure you're dancing with a guy and he takes his shirt off. That one happened.
Who had that one?
Brittany.
So everyone was
I think
successful.
mine was
Everyone.
extremely tame.
Yeah, we have
compared
all
to
the
everyone
check. I still
else's.
have the check marks.
knowing, remembering all these. Everyone got a. You guys went easy on me.
Yeah, we did.
Well, for you, that was a very difficult task, and we knew that. Like it was
What
so
did we
much
get,
harder.
Blake?
I would do that every night.
So much harder for you to get on a bar top than me to hit the worm.
Yeah.
Okay, Steph, we're giving you.
I think like I
Tomorrow
want you.
night
It
at
has to be
Squire.
like something like
I want
being
you.
mean or,
I want you like.
saying something rude. I feel like
I want you
Even though I don't
barefoot, like at the bar.
barefoot.
Yeah, like walking in
God.
without shoes, and like not in a creepy way, but just
Ew,
like.
ew, yeah, I'm kind of a germaphobe, so
Or like, I need her to get like the bar to chant something.
I feel like I need her to grab toilet paper and like shove it in her pants and walk around with it all night. So
With a
people-
bulge?
No, out of the
I
bag.
mean, a long piece of toilet paper just hanging.
Oh, I don't know why my brain went to bulge.
Just to see the reactions.
That's crazy. Yeah. Okay.
like have it hanging out.
So many of them were awful. The butterfly kiss, going up to a stranger and just being like,
yeah, that's
eyelashes.
It's
yeah,
disgusting.
That's crazy.
weird.
So
That's crazy.
What
That's
was
crazy.
this can be edited out. What was Shayna's that she did to multiple men? It was like the tickle
I have it
me
on my
something.
phone.
It was like the tickle me. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it was on my phone. I had 3 martinis. I don't.
She was asking people to tickle her.
No. It was like she would like do the like, can you smell my armpit, and then like kiss them or something like that. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you
No.
remember that?
I don't like that one either.
She did it to multiple men.
I have it in my
Wow,
phone.
I don't remember.
Anyways, I highly recommend giving dares on your birthday.
So Steph's is barefoot.
I
Mine's
like barefoot
barefoot.
at the bar, like, but it has to be a
feel
gross
like
dive bar where it's like a little wet.
And okay, you have to be barefoot.
I mean, I feel like I could do it, but would I prefer that?
No, it's gross.
Yeah,
We're
it's
hearing
gross.
by popular demand in the audience that the chant was a good idea too.
I like the chant. Okay, well, speaking of the audience,
The
since we
whole
have our
audience to
first,
chant something.
Oh.
live audience, does anyone want to come on and share it? Yeah, we have Molly. Come on.
Come.
All right.
Come. Take my seat.
Our
take
first
my seat.
ever live submission from an audience member. We have Miss Molly.
you have lots of tasks. At the
Okay.
Square.
I know.
I was like, I don't want to say your last
Fair.
name if you don't want me to say it because I don't want to identify
I'm
it.
from
But
Boston. I live in Seaport, and I know all of them. So Abby knows this. She's my sister. She's over in the audience as well. She knows this scary because I think I was 23. I was probably 23. And I was immature, and I was dating this guy. We were probably we're hooking up for a month. This was like our 3rd or 4th date, and I had been partying all day long. So I kind of got a little blackout before the date. And he was also partying as well, but he could handle it a little bit more. And so I like blacked back in the bathroom.
They go to a romantic dinner
In
in the
the
North
North
End.
End.
Like
Yes,
they're
yes,
on a
yes.
date.
We're on a date.
So
Us
they
two.
are sitting down at a
Okay.
romantic dinner in the North End.
And I don't remember any of this. So I blacked back in the bathroom and I'm like, well, I know I'm with him, but where is he? And turns out it was like a 2-story restaurant and I didn't know. So I'm like looking everywhere and I'm like, okay, I think he left me. So I don't have a coat on. It's in the middle of the winter. And I'm like, I have to go. I have to go.
Her
And
phone is dead.
Phone is dead. Didn't have a purse. Didn't have a jacket. I was like, I have to go. So I had a
So-
friend that lived near the North End, and he was a mutual friend of both of us. And I knock on his door. He wasn't there. His roommates were, and his roommates were weird. And I probably shouldn't have said that, but and so
I'll get it in post.
You're drunk at this point.
no, so I'm not blackout anymore.
But you're drunk enough to like logically you're drunk enough to choose this
to choose this decision
and to not know
and
there was
not-
another
yeah, to
story.
not know
So
there was a second
meanwhile,
story.
I'm getting a phone call from her then boyfriend, and
No,
he's,
he wasn't my boyfriend yet.
okay, well, whatever. But he calls me and he's like, Abby, I'm on a date with your sister and I can't find her. She went to the bathroom. She's not in the bathroom anymore. And like her chicken parm just arrived. She also ordered 2 entrees.
ordered
She
2
ordered
entrees.
a chicken parm and an eggplant parm. And he goes, I'm sitting here with her chicken parm and her eggplant parm, and we can't find her. I'm like, what
All the
fuck
parms.
do you mean? And sorry, my lips were. And I'm like, okay, well, what are you talking about? He's like, I've gotten the waitresses. They've gone to the girls' bathroom. They can't find her. She's not downstairs. She's not upstairs. Her coat's at the table. Her bag's at the table. She has no phone. Like, where did your
He thought
sister
I got
go?
kidnapped.
And he's like,
So-
this girl's been kidnapped.
Wait, so then I reached
By the mafia.
by the mafia in the
I
North
mean-
End. So then I
Tying it all back
reach
together.
our friend's house and I knock on the door and I'm like still drunk and I'm giggling and I'm like, can I borrow your phone? So I call I call him because they had his number and he's like, where the hell are you? And I'm like, I'm at blah blah blah's house. And he's like, are you fucking kidding me? Hangs up the phone. So then I'm like, oh fuck. So then I'm like, oh fuck, I actually fucked up. So then I'm like,
I mean,
okay.
you walked out on a dinner
But I was
date
still drunk, so I
and
didn't
went to his friend's house.
So I was still drunk.
But she thought that he left her.
That's literally tragic.
I would have stopped by the table first to see, but
So I call him up and I'm like,
She couldn't find the table.
So I call him up and I'm like, can you come pick me up? And he's like, fuck you. So then his phone was about to die and he had no jacket. So then he asked Abby to pick him up. And then I also called Abby and I was like, he's really mad at me. Like, I need you to pick me up. Like, I don't know really what I did. So then
I don't know what I did.
Then Abby's in the car.
Yeah, meanwhile,
leaves Zuma.
her angel sister comes to rescue
She's not an angel.
her drunk sister and her soon-to-be boyfriend's situationship that are in the backseat of my car and they won't talk to each other.
I'm like-
Molly gets in
I'm
the
like
car
touching
and she's
him.
like tears.
I'm like touching him. I'm like, come on. I don't remember. So it turns out there was a downstairs of the restaurant and I've never been back.
what restaurant was it?
It was Villa Francesca.
Oh,
Oh.
I've
I've
never
never
heard of
been.
it.
It's not like actually I haven't been back, so I can't attest to the food. He took it all to go.
I was gonna say, did you get
and-
your chicken parm?
Oh no.
Well, they
And
do
then-
have chicken and eggplant, which is good to know in case
Yeah.
not a lot of places have
yeah.
eggplant as
And-
well.
And I'm pretty sure I ordered
Wait,
like 4
the
appetizers.
vegan can go with that guy.
Yeah, if you're
both have
vegan.
parm.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, but
Just don't order the
there's
chicken.
No,
parm.
because there's cheese on it, so he can't go.
Never mind. You can just
Vegan
get the
can't eat
eggplant.
cheese.
Just
I
get the
guess
eggplant.
So then
They have
the ne-
vegan
wait,
cheese.
So then I sleep over at my sister's house, and I'm like, wake up in the morning, and I'm like, he's never gonna talk.
You're
to me
like, that was a great date. I had the best date ever last night.
I'm like,
I just
we had a
disappeared.
wonderful time. No, I'm like, he's never gonna talk to me ever again. And so then he like at 8 a.m. he texts me and he's like, can we please talk? And I'm like, okay. He's ending things. I fucked up. And him and all of his friends like meet me at a coffee shop and they all call me Houdini.
Houdini. Yeah, escape artist.
Yeah. Houdini. They all call me Houdini. And then we talk, and he's like, I realized how much I cared about you. Like, I was scared to death. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this actually worked out. And then
Pro tip, if
so
you want your situationship to turn into a relationship.
That's
and
Yeah.
we started dating, and I was like,
And a
How long
man,
did-
for
how
the
long did
first
you
time
date?
ever.
You just need to get blackout drunk and
Yeah,
then
Go
Yeah,
missing
go
on
drunk.
a date.
go missing on a date.
A man for the first time ever had emotional maturity to figure out that he cared about the girl he brought on a date when
After
she
she
got
might have been
kidnapped.
that's kidnapped.
Insane.
So then the next week to
I
make it up
realized I
to him,
liked
I took
you.
him to Lola, and I bought it all because I was like, I ordered 2 meals at this restaurant.
Yeah.
And I
Oh
left
my
you.
gosh.
And I left him. And then
That's
after
a great scary though, because
Yeah.
it's both scary but also had like a happy ending.
it did, but it was still pretty scary. I was like, ooh, like
Yeah, but that's scariest
did
things
that.
in the world. Like they kind of sometimes can turn into learning opportunities, and now you know. And that one turned into a relationship. You guys aren't still together, are you?
no.
Oh.
No.
But you were together for a bit.
We were together for probably like 8 months, 6 months.
Okay,
So we didn't last long, but it wasn't on my end. That we didn't last long.
cool. That was a great story.
But
though.
I did go missing 2 years
That was a
later.
great
So
story.
Yeah.
then I learned my lesson
Her other scary that's actually in the box. Is when she
Ooh.
went missing for the second time.
Second time.
And now
Houdini.
My sweet sister Houdini.
for the encore.
She doesn't drink hard alcohol.
I don't drink hard alcohol anymore. I learned I go missing.
My sweet sister Houdini.
I'm missing.
So that's my Sunday scary. So if I got a boyfriend out of that, other people can too.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that.
The second time she went missing was at a
Capo.
good favorite of ours, Capo.
Couple basement. Is this the one when you ended up in Oklahoma?
No. Oh my God, I've been missing quite a few times.
Yeah, again,
I don't know
don't
this
drink hard
story.
alcohol for a reason.
No. There was one time that I went missing and I ended up at Oklahoma and then I saw a Tiger King. But I
Like
was
the state
living-
of Oklahoma, not
Yeah.
like a cute bar in Boston.
But I was living
named
in
Oklahoma.
Dallas, so I didn't get on a plane. So that's an important story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 3 missings.
4 missings actually.
Any on the back of a milk carton?
No. One time this was in college. I was going to my situationship. I really liked him, and we hang out. And then at 4 a.m., I'm like, why the fuck am I here? I should not be at this guy's house. So I get up, I leave, I walk, and I'm like, wait, I don't have a key. I left my bag at his house because I was so anxious to go. And then I tripped and fell, and I fell asleep on the street.
And, you
And
were in
a cop
Oklahoma.
woke me up and he goes, ma'am, are you okay? And I go, yeah, I'm just trying to get home. And he goes, okay, get home safely.
Okay,
Sheriff
bye
of the
sleeping.
year.
Okay, so I swear I'm more mature now. I don't go missing anymore. But in college, I was a scary lady.
I was like a flight risk too, but I just decided sometimes that I wanted to be someplace else, where I would be at a bar with my friends. I'd be like, I want to go here, and I was like, and I don't want to convince everyone to go there, and
So you just go by yourself.
Yeah, and I was like, and I know there's gonna be a line, and I know I can convince myself to get in through the line, but I don't know that someone else is, so I'm just gonna go. So I
So
would.
you're like a professional Irish goodbyer.
Yeah, I love an Irish
I
exit.
love Irish goodbyes.
Yeah.
too.
I have now pivoted that role into Irish exiting to just go home, but
Yeah.
before I used to do it to
Irish exiting to another
do
bar.
another bar.
I love
I
it.
Yeah, I
oneself.
grew up, you could say, like you say,
I love
But
that.
yeah, I think being a flight risk is good sometimes. Keeps things interesting, and you always know you're safe as the flight risk. It's always harder to be friends with a flight risk.
The siblings
I
definitely
don't know if I knew I was safe for someone.
The one after Capo, I had the cops looking and the manager.
We
of
didn't hear the
Capo.
capo one.
Wait, so as you know, my name's Molly, and our friends were going around in the streets of Saudi singing, "Where's Molly? Molly,
Asking for Molly.
I can't find Molly. Molly,
Oh
yeah.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
I have a good name to go missing.
You do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just next time I'm looking for Molly, I'm just gonna be like, oh, it was my friend. She's a flight risk.
She goes missing all the time. She might be in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Wow.
Those are all my scaries. I meant to just tell one, but now you know them all.
Those
Yeah.
are good
I'm a
ones.
missing girl.
And that was our first ever live scary,
Yeah.
from the audience.
Yeah, I
'cause
loved
we've never
that.
had an audience.
A
Wow.
Billy's
live
back.
audience scary.
I think we're.
Is he doing okay? Is he being crazy?
Yeah, I think so. We brought in water now because we're at that point. But I think we are close to ready to wrap.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Billy wants to read one more.
Okay. I have a question for both of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I'm going to ask you individually, but it's the same question.
Okay.
You both worked at corporate jobs.
Mm-hmm.
You started doing social media. At a certain point, you realized, oh, dang, I can just do social media. How did that point come about? Was it overnight? Was it gradual? Were you like, was there a moment where you were like, oh, dang, I can just kind of do this?
I watched Blake do it.
Aww.
Blake was like an inspiration. Yeah,
Wait,
like
I'm
you
gonna
did
cry.
it all. No, like watching. I mean, I didn't move into the same exact apartment studio and do that. Like that was, it wasn't to that extent. But I think I definitely looked to you for inspiration and everything. And like you were the person that I remember the video too. That was for the first time. Like do the stupid thing, the scary thing, the like make a fool of yourself video. Because like it'll be worth it. And I was like, okay, that's someone that I like know in real life and on social media that like is now doing something that I think is so impressive that I thought wouldn't ever be possible. And then I started doing it.
God.
And then I was like, well, Blake did it until she started beating her salary. And I was like, I'm going to do that. But then I got like a little bit of cold feet and like held off a little bit and like just took a little bit longer to like jump out of the nest.
Wait, can I just ask? So
But-
you started beating your salary with social media, but still thought, ooh,
kept
wait,
Yeah.
let me take a second.
Because so what happened was like I then like now had the there was a lot of things I was like, well, I don't know, is it going to stop? And then I was like, well, now I'm like used to having two sources of income, right? And I was like, do you like now have two sources of income and then quit your job and now lose half of 50% of your income, or do you start waiting till that like second income is now double your original income so that you're matching the lifestyle that like you've built? Because like I couldn't pay my rent like in Seaport when I first started social media. Like I went and I was like, I'm going to invest in this apartment and then I'm going to start doing something so that I can make earnings off of it. So like me matching my income at work now made the lifestyle that I started attainable. So then I was like, okay, well, like I don't want to have to now cut that in 50% and then now have to either take on another like side hustle or whatever. So I waited till it was kind of double that.
That's smart.
But like I definitely looked to Blake for a lot of inspiration
That
and like in
is-
everything.
That's sweet.
The
And
nicest thing ever.
I mean that. And
I
was like,
look to you with the podcast because I genuinely have wanted to start a podcast for years. I love seeing you thrive. I love seeing you do this.
Can I hype these two up a little bit?
You're meant to be in the spotlight, I feel.
I've watched both of them individually as a friend, tried to manage starting their social media while also maintaining a corporate job. It didn't happen overnight, and both of them would grind so significantly, waking up way early than their corporate job would start and ending way after their corporate job would end. And it's not easy. And for those who want to do it, it does require a lot of work. But as you can see, there's two people here who are prime examples that you can make it happen. And I encourage all of you who want to do it to be.
I love you so much.
Yeah.
don't be
try.
fucking scared. Fuck everyone else. Everyone else is fake in the world. Like fake characters in your life. Like
One of my
like don't not do something that you want to do in your life because of someone else, because those
Yeah.
people are like non-playable characters. Like it's
Yeah.
your life. Do the things that you want to do. Who cares?
I feel like you really have to remember too, though. Like, I always say this. Like I say it to her all the time. I'm like, there is nothing more special about someone online than there is, like the person watching it. Like if they
Yeah.
can do it, you can. Like I feel like you put yourself in a
100%.
bubble of being like, oh, but they're really outgoing. I'm like, they did not start that way. I am so embarrassed when I watch my old content. It's like
they're
Mine too.
embarrassed.
Yeah, mine.
Wait, sure
So-
they're embarrassed, but I just want to say also
who cares?
both of them are very legit creators. My favorite memory of Blake is I was visiting Boston and I was staying over. And she was still working her corporate job. She was not a full-time social media expertise yet. And she made me wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to make the bed so she could film it. And then work out.
But
That was my personal hell, but I was really proud of
It's
her.
movie magic. You don't go to the movies and criticize everyone in the movie for
I got-
faking what they're doing in the movie.
Right, but people
You just
might
enjoy
think
it.
it's
You
fake,
enjoy
and
the
this is
movie.
the moment that I have to say it's real.
No, I got your approval, and I also said you can take a nap after.
and I did.
But the lighting at 5 a.m. is so
It's
good.
It's all about the lighting.
It's so
It's
good.
because we had to do all of the social media filming before she started her job as an architect. checked.
That's
So she
so
was
funny.
grinding, and I hated it. But I'm so proud of her. And
love
similar
you.
with Matt Rossi, he grinded before and after work for so long. So proud of you guys both.
Wow, I love you so much.
And at the
you
middle
so
school
much.
dances, I used to love grinding.
Oh wow, we have to bring it back to the vibe of this podcast.
I don't know if anyone's noticed, but Billy has casually read every single Scary.
All right, Billy has hand selected a
No,
scary.
this is crazy. I'm just like,
What's the best one?
Well,
they're
close us
all
out with one.
terrible. Like you guys get up to some crazy stuff on Saturday night. Myself included, though. I would just never have the gumption to write it down. Okay, let's do this. This one's scary. Okay. After I hooked up with a man, he told me I shouldn't have trusted a stranger and showed me a knife hidden under his pillow.
No.
That's actually scary. That is actually scary.
That's like a real scary.
No, that's actually scary.
That's not just a Sunday
How did you
scary.
get
That's
out?
everyday
Terrifying.
scary.
Did you say gotta
That's
go,
not even funny.
or were you so scared you had to stay?
Not to be a sympathizer, but like maybe he was just trying to teach her to be safer next time.
No,
that's just-
That's a psychopath.
And
Yeah.
this has been the Sunday Scary.
Yeah. On
That
that
is
note,
psychotic.
that's psychotic.
I don't
is
like that at all.
The scary of all scaries. I hate that.
I mean,
for
you
you.
learned
Yeah,
after
that's a
that,
I'm
right?
so glad you got out of that. Okay.
But if I'm the girl in this situation, I'm laughing, pretending it's like a hee hee ha ha, and trying to get out there as soon as
Yeah.
possible in a casual manner because I
Yeah.
am scared for my life.
You know what? This is also like I notice this sometimes when Anika and I are like chatting about dating things, whatever. There
Do you
is
threaten her with a knife?
yes, often. No, she has to threaten me with a knife. Often.
Yeah.
Often.
Annika pulls out a knife on Billy. He's like, you
Literally.
really shouldn't trust
Yeah,
people.
I'm surprised she hasn't pulled a knife on me before. I'm like, I can't take it anymore. Should I shut the fuck up? No, but she hasn't said that. But I know.
The 9-tuplet triangle needs to end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because there's like a love triangle. Like I started explaining to Anika this love triangle.
Started. This is like a year.
Triangles have 3 sides. How many
Yes.
sides
It
you
started
got?
as a triangle, then it went to 5, then it went to 7. Now we're at 9.
No. Well, I haven't updated Anika. It's at like 15 now. Anyway.
Internationally too. You just flew in from London. Do you notice his pants are from Greece? He also went there. Stavos.
Indeed. But back to the scary. I notice this sometimes when I chat with Anika. There is such a difference in how carefree I can be about so many dating scenarios, and Anika always has to think about like a safety component.
Totally.
And it's shocking because it feels like, in a way, it can kind of, well, maybe you women can all speak to this more than I can, but it feels like it would like handicap your like dating experience to every 2 seconds have to think about like, oh dang, like what if this guy's like gonna do this, or I can't like trust him.
Yeah.
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 Billy is flying
I think-
internationally for men. In a
Honestly,
knife.
I think women just like are conditioned to be so aware that like you don't even. I feel like we don't even really realize it because you're just so conditioned to like make sure you're safe in certain scenarios that it doesn't even feel like a task
Billy's
anymore.
making it seem like these are like big to-dos, and I'll just be telling a story and I'm like, that's such a red flag. And he'll be like, really? That's a red flag?
Like he had a knife
would
under
take
his
that as-
pillow.
I would take that as a green.
Literally, I'm like, oh, he's different. Like, that's-
Billy's like, you need to know their names before you show up.
Yeah.
I'm in love with a man right now that I'm flying to a different country to see.
Actually, you flew from that country. You came here and
Came
you're flying
here,
back.
And I'm flying back. And guys, he refuses to tell me his last name.
Is this the man you showed me?
It is. He's cute, right?
I was unpacking
cute.
my luggage in my room earlier and I heard the door open. It was Billy. Billy came in and sat on the bed and he just said, "Do you want to see the man?" I didn't know what man, but I saw the
I
man.
saw
But I saw the
2
man.
men on the way here.
Billy's
looked like-
taking
he looked like a
years
sweet
off of
man.
my
No, he
life
looked
being your
cute.
best friend. It is genuinely taking years off of my life.
Show of hands. Who here considers themselves a type A person?
All of us?
I'm happy. I don't know.
And you say, now I am.
But
5 years ago, I
in,
was
like
not.
you're so
Houdini was type A.
organized. You were
Oh,
so
100%.
You can put your
organized.
hands down.
But I feel like I'm
And
trying
on
to go
top
with
of
the
things,
flow.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm
type
type
A,
A.
type B is relative to the person you're with because I have friends that are more type A than me and I can sit back and like be the type B. But then I have friends that are very type B and I'm the type A, but also like I've never made a decision in my life. I'm like men, women, type A, type
I'm definitely
B,
type
where to
A.
live. So
Okay,
I have OCD too.
of the type A people here, which is all of you, by a show of hands, who here sees themselves with a type B person?
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Why?
because like if anyone's gonna be annoying in the relationship, I want it to be me.
Fair.
What about you?
I like to be in control. Like, I like to be the person that's like figuring things out. So,
That's so valid.
yeah.
But then I get annoyed.
Yeah,
if
I was just
people
gonna say.
aren't.
See, I feel like I'm a babysitter.
I would get so annoyed.
That's how I feel though. If someone's like too
but
laid
I
back, I'm
enjoy
like, I
being a
want you.
babysitter.
I want you to like
Be on my level.
I just need you to care about certain things that are important. But then
Yeah.
other than that, I'm like, okay, I'll make the dinner reservations. I'll do this. I'll do that. Like, I enjoy making the dinner reservations
Okay.
because I want to eat where I want to eat.
I used to think John was really type B because he's just very laid back.
He's so type A.
He's so type
Yeah,
A,
he's
just like organized, but
Yeah.
he's just so laid back, and I'm the type of type A that is like very much not. So
I was
we're
gonna say like
opposites in that
sometimes
way,
you need
but
someone
I'm
that
not
can
chill.
step back in the certain
Yeah.
times, and I think you guys are like mutually beneficially type A's in the sense of like what he's maybe passionate about are things you don't care so much about, and things that you're or like being in control about, and things that you're passionate about being like in control of. He's okay with stepping back, so in
Yeah.
that way, like you kind of fit together like a
That's a
puzzle.
good
Yeah,
balance.
like I meal prep for my dog, and and like John is probably letting him like John's like letting him run around like with people's shoes in his mouth
Eating
right now.
dirt.
Like, that's where John's like doesn't matter. I'm like
Bo eats better than I do.
same.
Like,
no,
me too.
yeah, 100%.
So with that, this has been an incredible Sunday. This is the first time we've incorporated alcohol into the podcast, and we'll see how it goes. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you liked the episode, make sure to follow us across socials at the Scaries Pod and listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts. Send it over to a friend that might need it. And while you're there, follow me on social media at the Maddie Rossi. I'm gonna tag everyone else in this because I usually list everyone's names. I'm not gonna do that now. So this is the largest cast we've ever had.
Couple live guests.
This feels like Saturday Night Live. But yeah, if you have any scaries you'd like to submit, send them over to at the Scaries Pod. Nope, that's not right. If you have scaries you'd like to submit, send them over to thescaries@gmail.com or in the link in the bio.
You
Thank
can also find us at weddings, gas stations, bar mitzvahs. We're everywhere.
Wherever they have microphones, Billy will gladly be there.
Taking the scaries. I'm the newest producer. I've just hired myself.
And with that, have a great week and go out and make some more scaries.
Cheers.
Woo!